Faculty every year put the word out, as well as the advisors. There's a class, History 484 internship, and the internship is nearly exclusively working here at the museum.
I love warbirds, I love aviation history, so I just thought it was something perfect to do and something I'm really passionate about.
I've always had a passion and a love for aviation since I was a kid, going to the airports, watching the aircraft fly over. When I first began this internship, during the summer, we had just received the photo album itself. So my part was mainly, we have this photo album, now where do we go from here? So we were able to discover, what point in time things were happening, who were in the photos, and how this relates to World War I.
This album contained over 350 photographs that this gentleman had taken during his journey from Ohio and joining up with the United States Air Service in World War I and traveling to Italy and training with the Italians to fly bomber aircraft.
And I was really intrigued looking through the album, and I was actually surprised how good some of those photos turned out for those days. So it was a good photographer. And he was a part of the Fagiani group, and he just took photos on his journeys.
Lawrence Joseph, that took all the photographs, was very meticulous. He actually numbered all of the photographs, and then he kept an index of who, what, where, when.
LaGuardia, we know him as mayor of New York. He actually went ahead and trained with these men, and he was actually like a leader of these airmen, teaching them how to fly.
So we found out that Captain LaGuardia actually lived in Arizona, and it was something I didn't know before we started. And it was another thing that was kind of hard to find the research for, but when we found it, it was like a wow moment. Like, we're connected to this in our state.
We see these pilots breaking bread together, and you get to see that personal side of history that kind of brings you closer to them because you can more so relate to these folks.
It was really interesting to see how everything evolved and how everything in aviation started out because of those pilots.
The students just astounded us because they got into the weeds, and every day we'd come in and they would show us something that they had found that we'd never heard about before. This created this phenomenal exhibit on a part of World War I that not many people knew about.
They taught me, how to make an outline of an exhibit, what is going to be the most important factors, where photos should be placed, how the album should be placed.
I think they all came out with a much greater appreciation for what museums do, a much greater appreciation for archives, for the history.
It actually gave us the opportunity to see an exhibit come to life through the research efforts of the students.
It's great to look back at history and to understand where we came from and understand their sacrifices and understand that because of what they did, we can now move forward.
This has been one of the best experiences of my life. So I'm happy to come out from this experience knowing more about World War I, just having a bigger understanding of it and how it impacted World War II, which is something more of us know about.